Okay, we are going to start. Good evening, Fernando and Fernando. How are you today? Fine.
Fine, thank you. Very good, teacher. How are you? Good?
I'm fine, yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are going to start. So welcome to our encounter number 4. And I am going to share our agenda. So, first of all, I'm going to give you your feedback on the Google Drive reflection. Then we will watch a video about the 21st century education that is related to what we talked about last class. Then we will talk about Lori, that is like a resource you can use to assess your virtual learning environments before sending them. Then we will talk about your virtual learning environments, that is the activity that we have for next week. And we will have some time for questions at the end of the encounter. Okay, so that is what we are going to do today.
Okay, very good.
Right. Okay, so let's start with the feedback on your Google Drive reflections. We have the strengths and the weaknesses or aspects to improve. So regarding the strengths that you have doing this activity, well, most of you did a good and complete definition and description of what Google Drive is. You also talk about the advantages and disadvantages, and you supported your ideas with theory. That was very good, right? In relation to the aspects to improve, well, some of you forgot this part that was the description of the implementation of Google Drive in your teaching context. Yeah, so some of you talk about Google Drive in general terms, but didn't focus your attention in this aspect. And the other aspect to improve, and not only in this activity, but also in all of the activities that you have to present, is citation. Yeah, because you research about theory and about the topics that we are studying, and you are supporting your ideas with that theory. But it's important to cite the resources you are using to develop the different activities that you have during the course. Okay? So I think those two aspects are the ones that you need to pay attention to in order to improve the next tasks that you have in the course, right? And this is related to check the rubrics in advance, because I have seen that some of you have forgotten to do this aspect, to check what you are going to be assessed. Okay, so please remember to check the rubrics, because there you are going to find the criteria I'm going to assess in the different activities that you have, right? So that regarding your Google Drive reflections. I think that most of you received the feedback today, and I think that I'm missing one or two groups. So those students are going to receive my feedback after the encounter, because I have the rubrics ready, but I didn't have to send them before the encounter. Okay? Do you have questions or comments regarding this activity, your Google Drive reflections?
We haven't checked our grade yet, so we have
Okay.
to check it first, teacher.
Okay, right. Good. Uh, okay. Hello, Juan David. Hello, Belisario. How are you today?
Good evening, teacher.
Good
Just
evening.
arrived from working.
Okay, right.
I'm
So,
fine.
okay, very good. What about you, Juan David? Okay, very good, Juan. Well, so let's continue with the video I mentioned before that is called 21st Century Education. This is a video that was taken from the government of Australia. Well, it is a country that is far away from ours, and maybe the culture is a little bit different, but the aspects that they talk about in this video are very related to this 21st century education around the world. Okay, so before watching the video, I would like you to reflect about these three questions. The first one is, what do we need to teach in the 21st century education? What characteristics should teachers have to teach the 21st century students? And what competences do students need to face the 21st century demands? So as I told you before, this is very related to what we talked about in the previous encounter. Okay? So think about the questions, and if you want to answer any of them, you can do it. Okay?
Teacher, is it possible for you to send us the link through the chat?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but before watching the video, I would like you to answer the questions with your ideas.
Oh, okay, very good. So I would like to answer, what do we need to teach in the 21st century?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, very good. Regarding that question, I think that what you need is not only attitude, but also TIC, the use of TIC. Nowadays, at schools, people is using a lot the technology. If you are a teacher, and if you have no idea how to use technology, is going to be very hard with you for you to connect with your students. That's the reason why we need to every single day we need to improve our skills with technology, and we have to start taking into account that nowadays kids are more technological than us, so they are going to learn faster with technology than with normal classes. That's why in every class that I teach, I try to use technology to connect with the kids.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you think that ICTs are really important and are a way to connect with students, and we also need attitude to have like a good
Yes,
rapport with our students.
yes, that's
Okay,
correct. Thank you. ICT, yes, thank you.
okay, Fernando, it's okay. Thank you very much for your ideas. Okay, someone else? Okay, Belisario, go ahead. Thank you.
As Fernando mentioned, even I said last encounter
Mm-hmm.
that technology is really important because it's kind of tricky to some people. It's kind of tricky to use technology.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I consider needs to be taught is, for example, how to talk in public, not to be shy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not to be scared of talking to important people, not also like classmates or teachers, but important people. For example, the manager of a company. Yeah, how to face hard situations.
Mm-hmm.
Beside beside have to be polite.
Yeah.
How to express properly and politely. It's really important nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard that many people were so good at uh, even at the university,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's hard for them to find a good job. So
Mm-hmm.
getting good grades is not enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
Sometimes some people that were not so good at university get a better job than a person that was the best in at university, like with the grades. So that's important. That's important to teach kids how to how to talk without getting scared or shy, something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're right.
And
And
this
it
is
is
and this is not taught.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, and that is related to interpersonal skills, and that is something important because nowadays children and teenagers, well, and even adults, don't know how to establish good relationships with other people, and that's something really important to develop those interpersonal skills, because yes, we need to learn to interact to other people. Okay, Belisario, thank you very much. Someone else?
Myself?
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
Fernando.
Hi everyone. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't ask what do we need to teach in the 21st century, but how do we need to teach in the 21st century? Because what do we need to teach? We need to teach English.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. ¿Qué quieres, corazón? My son is just behind me. So I would ask, how do we need to teach? I agree with Fernando. We need to use technology because kids now grow up with technology every day. We need we need to encourage students to practice using technology, using interaction, using encourage the students to participate in the class, talk, listening, reading, writing. I mean, talking. That's what I think. How we need to teach. I think that's the way, in a in a constructive way, in a happy way, in a be, as I said last week, with empathy
Mm-hmm.
and with a big smile and using the technology. Of course, technology is there to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes are the teacher, the people that don't know how to use technology. So we better get used to it, like we
Mm-hmm.
are doing in our classes. We better get the the knowledge of using technology. We are doing this video job, and sometimes it's quite frustrating because to get into the page, the website, I can do it, but my partners they cannot, so they need to have our class passwords or whatever. I mean, it's not easy. Technology is there, but it's not easy. It's not easy. We need to practice with the technology. Teachers sometimes they say you have to think about to worry about the students' intelligence, right?
Yeah,
The multiple intelligence, but what about the teacher intelligence?
you're right.
That's a
That's
question that I leave it there for our partners, for classmates, and for you to think about it. What about teacher intelligence? We we first worry about that, and then look at the students, right? Intelligence. So that's one of the characteristics should teachers have to teach the 21st century. Be
mm,
open, get ready with technology, listen to the students. What I said before.
you're right, Fernando. Yeah, thank you very
Well,
much. Thanks
thank
for
you.
your ideas. Okay.
Bye.
Well, I'm going to share the link of the video. So please look at the video, and then we talk about it. Okay. So this is the link. Please watch the video. I'm going to close my microphone and my video, and as soon as you finish watching it, please let me know.
It's a very good video. Loved it.
Okay. What did you like about the video, Fernando?
Nowadays, kids are able to learn by themselves. I mean, technology is like everywhere, and that allows them to learn by themselves. If you see, the video said that 34 billion videos are being watched in YouTube. So
Yeah.
that's true. Kids are learning by themselves. They're trying to find out the resources to learn the things that they think is not enough at school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Fernando. And if you see that those numbers, we can see that technology grows every second of the day. And taking that into account, we can see that we are always going to be like a step behind of technology because we are not going to be at the same speed it grows. That's why we need to teach our students, and we need to train ourselves to use
Yes,
technology and the resources we have and the ones that we have access to, uh, well, to use them in the best possible way, and to teach students how to look for information, how to find useful and real information. That
yes,
that's something that we need to do.
yes, that's true. Actually, if you notice, I read a few days ago that Japan,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, it is like 20 years in advantage from us. Is that how you say it? I forgot to say it. With technology,
Yeah.
they are way advanced than us,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's the reason why they are so smart too.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Okay, Fernando, thank you very much for your ideas. Uh, Something else? Okay, Belisario.
Okay, I need to say something because I don't agree with Fernando. He said that people in Japan are more intelligent than us. The problem in Latin America is the corruption because yeah, in Latin America we are so smart too, but we are not used to like to take advantage of everything because of the corruption. Even many people who don't have the resources, like poor people, try to work really hard, study the way they can, and it proves that people, yeah, people are smart everywhere, but they have like the support of the government. There's not a lot of corruption like here, and I have to say that technology is dangerous, could be dangerous. Yeah, like everything is good, have advantages and disadvantages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Technology, using technology so much, even for studying, for learning, could be dangerous because can create oh my god, I forget the word, even similar to Spanish, can create dependence or addiction, can create addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Even it's so dangerous for kids. Like there's a specific age, and over that age, and kids can start using it. I know some kids who are addicted to technology, and when their parents say no, please, like they get mad, like they get irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So even using it in the school for learning, for teaching is not okay. Like we need to be so we need to be so careful and not using it all the time, just as a compliment.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah.
Teacher, I will have to say something about what Belisario said. Belisario, I didn't say that Japanese people were more intelligent than
But
us.
I
I said
heard
that
that,
they were, no, I said that they are very intelligent, and I said that their technology is way advanced than our technology.
but I heard that. Sorry, I
No,
heard that. I don't know if my classmates heard the same.
no, I promise you didn't say that. I just said that they were very smart. No, no, smarter than us.
I understood that we were more intelligent than anyone.
Thank you, Fernando.
But anyway,
Um,
well,
and I've heard that in Japan and Korea, South Korea, there are clinics for people addicted to technology, video games, internet. So it's so dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, we cannot say that Japanese people are smarter than us, but we can say that they have a better educational system. Yeah, and that's due to what you said. Well, the corruption, it's a big issue here. Well, the pro or the people that implement policies, educational policies, do not have experience in teaching. Well, some of them are no, they are not teachers, and well, there are many things that have influence in our educational system, as you said before. But yeah, and we can also see that in Japan there are many people that dies every day because they are addicted to technology and they spend days. Well, we cannot say that technology in yeah, well, to some technological devices, for example, video games. Yeah, and we can see that in those cultures a lot. Yeah, but well, there are many things that we need to improve here in Latin America. Okay. There are some ideas here in the chat. Juan David says in the USA there is a program called Homeschool where some students do not go to school and they receive information and assistance online from their parents. Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, that kind of programs implement a lot the use of technology. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Right. I'm going to continue because I need to share something that is important for you, and taking into account that the next activity you have is the virtual learning environment. So I would like to share this with you. You are going to find a document in the virtual classroom that is called Lorry. Yep, it's a whole book that talks about this. I'm going to give you like a fast review because it implies many things that LORI is like the acronym of Learning Object Review Instrument. Yeah, it's an instrument to review or to assess a learning object. In this case, our learning object is going to be the virtual learning environment. So first of all, I would like to ask you these two questions. What are learning objects, if you know that? Or what can you imagine is a learning object? And why do we need a review instrument?
Okay, very good. Can I give my opinion, teacher?
Yes, of course.
Sorry to be so participate.
That's great.
Okay, good. The learning objects will be like the goal that you set in your class. I think, right? The learning objects will be like like the objective, the reason why you're teaching, probably.
Okay. First, I want just to listen to your ideas, and in a moment, I'm going to give you the definition of a learning object. Okay?
Okay, very good. And why do we need to, what do we need a review instrument? Because, I'm sorry, because it's like a map that we use. It's like a route that we follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it is.
Okay, Fernando. Thank you very much. Okay. More ideas about this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if what program says is the learning object definition or not. I think learning object definition. I mean, a learning object is the tool that you use for learning, for to use as a strategy for learning. Like, for example, a task-based learning. I mean, so I would say like the mean or the way, the tool, the instrument you use for learning strategy, or something like that. I think, I'm not sure.
It's okay, no problem.
And why do we need a review instrument? I don't know. I think we need a review instrument just to check out how the learning is going on. I don't know. I think it's kind of something like that, a review instrument, just to check out how we're doing in our class.
Okay, Fernando. Thank you very much. Belisario?
Okay, I think learning objects are something very basic, like books, computers, or websites, something that can create knowledge with a tutor or individually.
Okay.
Now, why do we need a review instrument? To make sure people learn what is being taught. Yeah, because I always say more than once is better. Like more, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, even for English, for languages that repetition is important. Yeah, because many students don't learn English or because the teachers explain a topic but don't practice it. Or it happens with many topics, not only with English but also with many things. So many schools implement like a methodology, like just teaching a lot of things through the whole year, but they don't focus on anything. Like they don't practice anything. So students don't learn, don't understand, don't like. It's just those are just subjects that I can see in the school, but they don't. I don't have them. I don't use them. I don't apply them. So the review instrument is that, like an instrument to make learning possible, not only just talking about something or explaining something.
Okay, Belisario, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Yeah.
It's Paula. I was in a meeting with the teacher Jorge about the practicum. So we'll be late. I was in a meeting with the director of the career.
I was in the meeting too. Sorry.
Luis and Ingrid? And
yeah,
Paula,
Sebastian too. Sebastian is in the meeting right now.
Me and Wilton and Jaime.
Yeah.
So 4 students?
Yeah, like 6 students.
Okay, could you tell me the names again, please? Paola, Wilton,
Lorena,
Sebastián,
Carlos.
Jaime,
Carlos Montalvo.
Luis, okay.
And Jaime.
Felix.
Creo que falta, I think that I missed a name, but I don't know.
Who? Sorry?
I don't remember a name.
Dice John Emanuel Molina que también es. John Emanuel Molina.
So you all were with the teacher Jorge, right?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. It's just that, well, Sebastian is still there, so I think he'll be coming in some minutes.
Okay, I was wondering why there were so few students today in my class, and I was worried about it.
We were supposed to start at 7 sharp, but the teacher had problems with the audio, so that's why we started late.
Okay.
So
okay.
worry no more.
Okay.
We're here.
Thank you very much. Right. Okay, very good. Well, we are talking about LORI, that is Learning Object Review Instrument. Well, I'm going to give you the definition. So, what are learning objects? So, information resources or interactive software used in online learning. Okay? So, this term is used in online learning. So we have examples. A single image could be used to teach, a page of text, an interactive simulation, or an entire course. Everything that you use online to teach. That is an learning object, right? That it is related to what you said, somehow, yeah? Because you were thinking about the face-to-face instruction, but well, the difference is that it is focused on online learning and teaching. Okay,
One
Luis?
question.
Yeah.
Sorry. For example, you said that it's an information resource or interactive software. For example, something like Plickr or Kahoot that, well, more Plickr, they just, can I give me just 10 seconds? I'll get the copy and I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Wow.
Okay.
I'm back. Look, these are the so-called Plickers. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
You seen in the camera?
Yeah.
For example, this counts as an information resource, as a learning object?
Yeah, if you use it online to teach, yeah, it is a learning object. So everything could be a learning object if you use it with an educational purpose.
Okay, so, but it has to be online, not that it requires internet connection.
Yeah, online. For online learning and teaching.
Okay. Now my doubt is solved. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue with the next slide. That was the second question that we had before. Why do we need a review instrument? So, reviews help users to select for quality and suitability. Yeah? And that's something that I'm going to show you in a moment that I'm going, well, in the virtual classroom, you are going to have another document that is a checklist that you are going to use to assess your virtual learning environment before presenting it. So you are going to have like the criteria you have to take into account, right? Okay, it facilitates comparison among objects by providing a common review format. And reviewers can rate and comment with respect to 9 items that I'm going to show them. So that is why, because, well, you can think that something could be a learning object, but that needs like some requirements to be a learning object, and they are 9 items that I'm going to show you, right? So they are very summarized here. So we have the first one that is content quality. So it is related to veracity, accuracy, balanced presentation of ideas, and appropriate level of detail. That refers to content quality. So you have to look for sources that are that are supported by theorists. You have to find that it is accurate information, that ideas are well presented, that you have the level of detail needed according to the population you are going to teach. So that is the first aspect. The second one is learning goal alignment. So you need alignment among learning goals. You have to have some activities related to the goals, assessments, and learner. You have to take into account the learner characteristics. Yeah, because you are supposed to have some goals, and those goals should be related to activities, assessments, and your students' needs and characteristics. That is the second item. The number 3 is feedback and adaptation. So you need to have adaptive content and feedback driven by differential learner input or learner modeling. You need to have some input and you have to provide your feedback based on that input, and you need also to have to model your students what you are going to present through the learning object. The aspect number 4 is motivation. That is ability to motivate and interest and identify population of learners. So taking into account the characteristics of your students, you have to implement some strategies to motivate them and to engage them in your, in this case, in your virtual learning environment. That is the object that you are going to have to teach them. The number 5 is presentation design. So you need design of visual and auditory information for enhanced learning and efficient mental processing. That is something important, and that is why you have to be careful about the web tool you are going to use to design your virtual learning environment, because it needs to have a good design that catches the students' attention, considering the visual and auditory information you present there. The item number 6 is interaction usability. So it has to be easy to use, to navigate, predictability of the user interface. So you don't have to teach a whole course to your students for them to learn how to use the virtual learning environment, and the quality of the interface help features. The item number 7 is accessibility. So in this case, if you have disabled students, you have to design, you have to have design of controls and presentation formats to accommodate to their disabilities. For example, in the case that you have students with any visual disability or auditory disability, you have to consider that. With the special needs. Yeah, you're right. Very good. The aspect number 8 is reusability. So ability to use in varying learning contexts and with learners from different backgrounds. So you are supposed to create something that could be useful for you and for your students in different opportunities, yeah? So that refers to reusability. And the last one is standards compliance. So it refers to adherence to international standards and specifications. Well, not only international, but also national, well, depending on the topic you are going to teach. For example, in this case, we have to take into consideration the standards, the benchmarks, everything, all of the policies and documents that we have here in the country. Okay, Fernando, it's okay. Right. Right. So, well, these are the 9 items that I would like you to suggest to review before or at the moment you are creating your virtual learning environment. As I told you before, you are going to find a complete document with the description of each of these items. And I'm going to stop sharing this presentation because I would like to share the checklist I told you before. You are going to find that checklist in the virtual classroom. So, okay, this is template for the evaluation of virtual learning environments. So I would like you to complete this checklist as soon as you have your virtual learning environment ready, but before sending the link. So you are going to be sure about all the elements that you need to include there. Remember to check the rubric as well. So you have 25 aspects. So the first one is the interface is available in the target language being learned. The homepage clearly presents the sections and resources of the virtual learning environment. The structure of the website is logical and easy to use. The students can surf from one section to another of the website. Learners know exactly where they are at all times and can surf through the sections and resources without feeling disoriented. The arrangement of on-screen elements is consistent from one section to another. The icons are intuitive. The displays appropriately readable. Instructions or a usage guide exists. It provides users with information on the circumstances under which they can use the virtual learning environment. If using materials created by third parties, it acknowledges authorship complying with the regulations of licensing materials. Right? That is something important, and that is what I told you at the beginning of the encounter, that you have to cite resources. Okay. The functions and activities of the site are self-explanatory or provide the information necessary to execute them. The on-screen graphic elements are well designed. The screens show a balance between text and images. It contains tools for synchronous and or asynchronous communication. It allows the implementation of various pedagogical approaches. Possibility of cognitive autonomy of the student. All the necessary information to complete the activities topic unit can be found in the resource. The VLE accepts various forms of feedback. The VLE promotes learner-to-learner interaction. The resource keeps track of students' performance. The resource provides opportunities for production, speaking, and writing practice. The resource provides opportunities for reading comprehension and or listening. And the resource allows for various learning styles. And finally, the website includes a self-assessment system. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of aspects that you have to check while doing your virtual learning environment. Are they clear? Do you have questions?
Not yet.
Okay. Right. So in this case, this is the tool we are going to use to review your virtual learning environments. So remember that we have the rubric as well. So please check the rubric. Don't forget that. Okay. I'm going to be back to the presentation. Okay. Here you have the rubric. So you have the criteria that is related to what I showed you before, the design and presentation, the introduction of the topic, the collaborative learning tool, the strategy to keep track on the students' work, the peer communication or interaction tool that you use in your virtual learning environment, and a tool also to promote autonomous learning. So this is the rubric I'm going to use to assess this task. Okay. Do you have questions, comments?
The teacher, because we were late, the lorry basically is a way to evaluate our virtual learning environment?
Yeah, LORI is Learning Object Review Instrument. Yeah, so it's the instrument you can use to review or to assess a learning object. In this case, the virtual learning environment is the learning object you are going to have. You have a big document that is in the virtual classroom, but I try to summarize it in the checklist that I showed you before. Yeah.
So everything is related: the lorry, the checklist, and the matrix that you showed us at the end.
Exactly. Yes. I am not going to assess the checklist. It's just a tool that you have to improve your virtual learning environment. Yeah.
Yes.
So you decide if you use it or not. But well, I suggest it.
Okay. When you talk about accessibility and you talk about mobile learners, what do you mean by mobile learners?
For example, if you have students that use a wheelchair, or they have a problem, for example, in their hands, in their legs, yeah, something that impedes their
So some kind of physical limitation?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right. Okay. More questions? Yeah, okay. The students that were with the teacher Jorge, don't worry. I have your name, so what I suggest you is to watch the video. Okay, so you can see what we were talking about before you arrived.
Will do.
Okay. Okay? Okay, guys.
That was it?
Yeah.
It happened
Well,
so
we were
fast.
late. What did you want?
Well, I forgot that part.
Yeah, we also watch a video at the beginning of the encounter, so you can find the link in the presentation. Yeah, that it was related to the 21st century education.
Okay.
Belisario, yeah.
When are we supposed to create a virtual learning environment?
I'm sorry?
When are we supposed to create the virtual learning environment, like
next
website?
week? Next week.
Next week? Like for Sunday?
Yeah, so the due date is September the 16th. Sunday, yeah.
You mean you will have to do everything about in the site we're going to use for that and program everything and all for next week?
Yeah. Remember that I think that in the first encounter, I told you that I recommended you to start working on the virtual learning environment because, well, it is an activity that demands a lot from you. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can.
Yeah. Okay, Belisario? Yeah.
Are we supposed to use the video that we're creating right now in that
Yeah.
virtual learning
Exactly. Yes,
yeah?
you are supposed to include the avatar and the video in your virtual learning environment.
But the avatar with the same information, like likes and dislikes, or the information have to be changed and
Well, the tool, yeah, the avatar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Well, I'm ashamed of asking this, but what if we didn't do the avatar? I didn't present it on Sunday.
If you didn't do it,
I still should create it. I still should create it, and it should appear on the virtual learning environment, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because
I will do it.
if you
Is that
consider
possible, teacher? To include the avatar from what was the name of the place? I forgot. Well, is that possible to add the avatar into our virtual learning environment?
Well,
I think
because
embedded.
it's from a different website.
yeah, it is possible. Well, depending on the website that you choose.
We
Because
all did the same website. It was
Wix? Wix?
big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is possible to include Voki in Wix.
Woki.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. We have to find out how.
yeah. So it has like an option where you can include links, and you know that Voki is a link, so you can include it.
Ah, okay, yes. All
So
right.
you have to look for that option in Wix.
Okay.
All right. Well, Fernando is asking me if I saw the avatars. I'm in that process. I have seen some and they are really nice. Yeah, I think that by the weekend I will be done with your avatars. Okay. Okay, Sebastian, I know about it. Right. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for attending the encounter. So
Teacher, I'm sorry, I have a
Thanks.
question.
yeah,
Quick question.
yeah,
Well, maybe you already answered it, but is the activity about the videos in groups or individual?
in groups,
Activity?
in
In
groups.
group.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Remember that you have a forum that is called grouping forum. I think that you can use that forum to contact your partners in case you need a group. Okay.
No, I already have a group, but in the guide I didn't see if it was in groups or individual. But thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. Well, so thank you very much. Have a
Thanks.
good week. Have a good night, and see you next Wednesday. And well, thank you very much. See you.
You too. Take
Good
care. Have a
night.
good one.
But teacher, see you.
Okay.
Sleep time.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.